Hello everyone, welcome back to another Albion online video, and once again we are going to be breaking Albion's economy and making a lot of people mad.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So what exactly are we going to do today? Well, today is an episode about attuning, which is something there is not a lot of information about. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing. So here in my inventory I have one shadow color 5.4. Now, the beauty of the 5.4 here is that it can be attuned. Only the weapons though, nothing about the armors, at least yet. So, with the shadow color, with it being 5.4, what we can do is we can head ourselves to the artifact foundry and go to the third tab and put it on awaken weapons. Now, it'll tell us we require a couple of things. In this case, we require 305,000 silver, as well as 6 Avalonian energies and 6 siphon energies. So, with this being said, let's make our ways to the market and buy ourselves these items. So we have gotten ourselves the 6 Avalonian energies as well as the 6 siphons, so we can awaken our weapon. We paid the 305,000 silver and it's now awakened. Now this weapon is pretty much attuned to us. What does this mean? It basically means that everything that we will do with this weapon is going to give it stats. So in this case, you guys can see if you scroll down to the bottom, it says attune to Nendys, it's me. And then it says attunement. Now this is the fame that the weapon is going to keep. It also talks about the legendary rating and the strain. So what is the first thing that you have to do after you attune your weapon to yourself? Well, as you see, the attunement is 0, so we need to put some fame on our weapon. In order to do that, we have to kill some mobs. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. So let's go kill some mobs until it's max attunement, and we're gonna be back.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Now, when you're fully attuned, you'll see this message pop up. This is a message that pretty much says your weapon is fully maxed and it will not gain any more attunement, so you have to spend it now. In order to do this, let's go back to the artifact foundry. Now, when you're attuning a weapon, it's very important to know which attunements you want to get. So in this case, there is a pretty big list of traits that you can get. Now, what exactly are traits? Well, they are something that makes your weapon be better. It can either be more IP, more fame, more damage, more cooldown.
Wait a minute!
More cooldown.
You serious?
Less mana. there's a ton of different traits. And it's very important that you know which trait that you want to get in your weapon. In this case, I am trying to get the trait which is mob fame, because I want more fame to be gained when I'm using the shadow color.
Am I a joke to you?
So that's exactly what we're going to do. Every time we get a trait, there's two options. You can either add one or you can upgrade it. When you're adding it, means that it's a new one. You can also have up to 3 traits in one weapon. However, you only unlock the second and the third one once your legendary rating is up. So let's add our first trait. It will cost us 16,000 silver and 500 extra attunement. And one way you can to reduce the attunement cost is to use focus. In this case, it's only 50 and it gives back pretty much 50% of what you are expected to get in your attunement. So it's pretty worth it. So let's add it and let's see what we get. So we got max energy, max health, ability damage. Now we select which trait we want to get from these 3. In this case, nothing here appeals me. Maybe the ability damage is the better one. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to confirm. And now if you see, our shadow color has ability damage bonuses. But the thing is, like, I don't want ability damage. My only objective here is to get the mob fame. So I am gonna replace this trait. I could also upgrade it, but I don't want to. I want to replace it for mob fame. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. So once again, we have attunement and let's replace it. In this case, max health, threat regeneration, and item power. They're all pretty bad, so we are gonna keep our current trait. We're gonna re-roll it again. Defense, item power, and max health. Again, they're all pretty bad. So we're gonna re-roll it again.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Crowd control, threat regeneration, and energy cost. Again, nothing of my interest. And we came to a conclusion, which is we don't have enough attunement anymore. So now what we have to do is go farm again and again and again until we have more attunement. Now, what is very important to know when you're attuning something? Well, the more replace or upgrades you have, the higher the strain is going to be. So as you see, the strain before was 0 and now it's 8 times. So what does this mean? It basically means that the more attunements you'll get, or the more attempts you try, the bigger the strain. Now, what is exactly the strain, you may be wondering? Well, the strain works as a multiplier for the price. So as you guys saw on the beginning, it was very cheap to upgrade or replace our traits. But now it costs us 135,000 and 2,576, which is a lot more than it originally has. So, why is this important? Because the more traits you add or replace or upgrade, the more expensive it's going to be. So here we are back in my hideout. And why are we here, you may be wondering? Well, this is where I mostly do my fame farm.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
And here is my current weapon. Now this is my own chill howl and it's max attunement. Now, as you guys remember, on the shadow color, what do we want? It was mob fame. And that's exactly what we have on this chill howl. In this case, we have 20.6 extra mob fame. It's the only trait that I want. I'm pretty happy with it. However, if we wanted to add or modify another trait, I could add it, but it would cost me 1,085,000 silver as well as 32,000 attunement. So it's not really worth it for me, as the only thing that I really want is the mob fame, so I'm fine with it. Now, if I want to upgrade my current trait, which is exactly what we're going to do now, it costs us 724,000 silver as well as 21,939 attunement. So this is kind of a gamble, as you don't know how much it's going to upgrade, if it's going to do just a little bit or if it's going to do a bunch. So I'm going to showcase you guys what exactly and how it works on the upgrade, so you know and are ready to do it when the time comes to you. So if we click on focus with upgrade, and it starts spinning, and it went from 20.8 to 22.16.
Great success.
Again, it was pretty cheap, 750,000 pretty much silver, as well as some attunement. So I'm pretty happy with it. We can actually do it again one last time, and it's probably going to be the last attunement we're going to do. And let's see how much it rises from this. So again, this one was pretty bad because it rose very slightly, and we paid, well, 75,000 silver for it. Now, what is important to know about attunements as well? Now, when you're selling a weapon to someone, for example, let's imagine I want to sell this chill hell. This weapon is currently attuned to myself and only me, so I cannot give it to someone and use it. You want to sell the weapon without attunement, the only thing you have to do is come here and click disenchants, and this will pretty much take all the attunements out, and it will go back to a gear that's 5.4 without any attunement to yourself. Now, if you want to sell the weapon with attunement, it's a little bit different. So here I have a weapon that was bought, or in this case, that I bought a couple of days ago, and as you guys see by this icon, the weapon is not attuned to me. In this case, it's attuned to Ramon El Malon, or whatever it is pronounced. But as you guys can see, the strain is pretty high, the attunement bonus is okay, and the legendary rating is 73. Why did I buy this weapon? Well, it has pretty good mob fame, in this case 25.14%. So let's imagine I can wear it, and I can wear it, but the attunements are not going to be given out. They'll only be given out to Ramon. And if we want to use them, what we have to do is we come to the Artifact Foundry, go to Awaken Weapons, and we can reattune it to ourselves. Now, this costs a lot of money. It costs 2.7 million. Now, this is a 4.4 weapon, which is super cheap. This costs like 1.2 mil. So it's 3 times pretty much, or 2.5 times the cost of the weapon. So you should really consider if you really want to reattune it to yourself. There's a sneaky code and a sneaky way of reattuning it. However, I do not recommend it as it's very dangerous and a lot of times it will go bad. What is it, you may be wondering? Well, it's nothing other than suicide. Now, when you die, the weapon will be reattuned automatically to the first person that picks it up. So, in this case, if you suicide and then pick up the weapon, it will be instantaneously reattuned to you. Now, why is this bad, you may be wondering? Well, it's bad because it can trash and you will lose your weapon and all the attunements that come with it. So I don't really recommend it. If it's a weapon that you want, consider just paying the price, reattuning it, and keeping it to yourself. But of course, I don't listen to my own advice and I went ahead and did it. And this is the result. We were pretty lucky that it actually didn't trash because the trash rate is only 30%. So it's kind of a coin flip. So again, I do not endorse or recommend you doing this, but that is pretty much it for me. I think I covered everything that is to know about reattunements and awakened weapons. Now, if you're interested or have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And yeah, that is it. Thank you so much. And as usual, Nendys out.